This is John Cola with GrowingYourGreens.com. Today we're here at the Garden of Eden, another local garden. It's about 8,000 square feet and they have a really cool purpose. And their purpose is to prevent childhood obesity by teaching kids under 5. So this place is teaching youngsters that aren't even in school yet. This is like pre-education and teaching them about eating the best foods possible, fresh fruits and fresh vegetables picked from, the garden. It's amazing, and I'm happy I'm here. We're gonna speak with David, who runs this place. He's gonna tell us more about that, and we're gonna take a look at what's growing on inside. So we're sitting here in another raised bed. This is a really cool design. Once again, they're trying to basically enhance the number of edges here, so more kids could be in a bed and be in this garden and find things to pick and to eat, because after all, that is the goal of this garden, is to teach kids that food comes from the earth and not from the grocery store and not from the fast food place. Plus this place is here to let kids know how good food can really taste. And I've heard that some of the kids that go through this program, or most of the kids that go through this program, after they taste the food here, they're telling the parents to buy the foods out of the produce section instead of out of the middle of the store that has all the processed foods and maybe the foods that maybe aren't so good for us. But there's so many things to talk about here. I won't be able to cover them all today, but one of the things I did want to talk about were these earth bags. So these earth bags are made by the company Cal Earth. I learned more about them today. And what you do is, with these earth bags, you just fill them up with 90% soil, whether your local soil or whatever you have on your property. Fill them up and use about 10% concrete, and they're gonna form really hard. I mean, this is hard. It's like concrete, literally, but it's mostly, the soil that was here. And then what you do is you layer up one layer at a time, and in between the layers, you put some barbed wire, and then you just stick it together, and the barbed wire acts to like hold it all together. Really ingenious. Earth bags. Cal Earth is a company that makes it. They're out of Southern California. And you can check them out online. You can make a raised bed, or actually even other building structures. So they actually made these to design these to build, houses and all kinds of crazy stuff. So do a search for earth bags to find out more about that. But what they have growing on in this bed here are basically a bunch of different herbs. So they have some basil over here. Of course, the magenta spring lamb's quarter that's gone to seed, and when it goes to seed, it's no longer magenta. Behind me here, they have, more signs for the kids. Taste me. They have a picture of sorrel, and most adults would say, oh, sorrel, I don't want to taste that. And of course, they have the sign to let kids know, pick a leaf, wash, and eat, to let them know to wash their produce. Real important, and to learn about hygiene. And the sorrel, I heard that the kids love to eat the sorrel because it's like, those hard lemon candies when you're a kid. Besides the sorrel here, of course, they have some other herbs growing. And of course they have some stevia, and here's the stevia, and I bet the kids really get a kick out of this, because this is a leaf that tastes so sweet, like sugar, but it does not contain any sugar, so that's really healthy for the kids to get them hooked on stevia at a young age. So I see David over here. He's actually the founder and the director of this place, of the garden, and we're going to go ahead and talk to him next, and he's going to share more with us why the garden's here and how he got started and just everything you want to know about this. Oh, and I do want to point out they have an education book that is available for, basically school age kids, so 5 and below, that they make available for free. So people that are into early education could basically teach kids about eating their fruits and vegetables, because I think it's very important to do that. So I'm so excited to have David, the project director here of Garden of Eden, and he basically started all this in this program to teach kids to eat fresh fruits and vegetables, and the reason for that is to basically prevent childhood obesity. And if they learn young as a child to eat their fresh fruits and vegetables, they're probably not going to be obese as a child or at any age. So I'm excited to have him here with me today. And David, why did you start this program?
Well, it's really simple, John, and thank you for coming. And I love the fact that you've had a chance to look at my garden. It's been great, and this garden's 6 years old.
Wow.
So all these things you see before you, it was a complete field of empty.
Wow.
But I started this program because I believe our children need to be protected. As a grandfather, as a father, the childhood obesity rates are meeting that where our children are getting diabetes, they're getting cardiovascular diseases, and the causes for obesity are immense. There's lots of reasons why children are having trouble, but the cure is simple. They eat fresh fruits and vegetables, and they'll be protected. So this is our reason.
Wow. So yeah, so even as adults, he was talking about, kids eating fresh fruits and vegetables. Even adults need to eat fresh fruits and vegetables too, I believe.
It's as we talked before, the fresh fruits and vegetables will protect you from all amazing numbers of diseases. Good food is the best medicine you can have. And the reason I love working in this garden is that I'm working with 0 to 5-year-olds, John. And I believe that you have to have early intervention. The earlier you can get them before they become addicted to their salts, sugars, and fats, then they're going to have a chance. Because out there, it's not a friendly world for these children. Parents are working hard. Oftentimes they see dinner through the car of a window. And so it's to train their taste buds, to learn to choose fresh, and to give them an opportunity to taste sorrel, to taste stevia, to taste pomegranates, the feijoas, everything that we grow here. It's alive, it's fresh, and it's beautifully delicious. And so one of the amazing things is if they eat one green bean here, they think all green beans taste like that. So they're good. It's good. It's a wonderful program. And we're reaching about 1,000 children, and we've been doing it for 6 years.
Wow, that's great. So what can you say for the adults, or my viewers here that have children, should they grow gardens, and what are some things that they should grow that you've seen kids particularly like more than other things?
Well, every child needs a garden. That goes without saying.
Every family, every person needs a garden.
And the things that I plant here are things that they can handle with their own little hands. So it's a lot of little things. And probably the finest one of all is the sugar snap pea. They can eat the whole pod, and when it's ripe and delicious, it's just like candy. And then you go with snap beans, you go with the smaller cucumbers, you go with the green peppers, which you saw, the tomatoes, and it's all the smaller fruit that they can eat ripe, eat right off the vine, so that a big zucchini. What do they do with the big zucchini? They got to take it in. But what's even more amazing is if you get a lot of these fruits and vegetables when they're young, it doesn't matter. You don't need to cook them.
Right.
We had the most amazing lesson this year with kohlrabi. And you say kohlrabi to most adults, and they look at you and they don't have any idea what you're doing. But it had the beautiful flavor of cauliflower and the texture of jicama when you sliced it raw. So that, again, we're eating it directly out of the garden. They're having that immediate taste. And John, what we do here is we have kind of a rule. We do everything with intention. Mm-hmm. And the intention, we've designed this garden with intention. And our intention is to keep our children healthy. The second thing we do is basically, if they can't experience it, don't teach it.
I see.
You have to give them a tangible experience. What child is going to know about vitamin C? They don't know their left foot from their right foot. They're just learning how to do, but they do know what they like to taste, and that's a solid, beautiful experience. And the third thing, to make sure that this is a profound, long-term behavioral change, is that you have to give them an emotion that wraps the other two, the intention, the experience, and then with the emotion. And the emotion we have here at the Garden of Eden is the emotion of joy. They are joyful. I make sure teachers here are soft. I make sure that we don't coerce a child. If they don't want to eat, that's fine. Because it may take 15 times before a child will actually taste something and like it. So you let them. And what we do is we never, ever, ever force a child to eat anything. You just offer it to them. And of course, when you're offering raspberries and strawberries and blackberries and feijoas and pomegranates and all these beautiful greens, they soon become adventurous eaters. And I've got some of these little kids come February when the garden is pretty sparse. I call them my Ethiopian refugees because they'll eat anything. They'll go out and they'll pick on the celery. They'll come back, and whether it's fennel, whether it's bok choy, whether it's silver beet, whatever it is, you present it to them in a way in which they can enjoy the experience of eating it, and they will learn to love to eat it. And all the research is profound. If a child does not get introduced to vegetables by the time they're 5, they're likely never to eat them.
Wow.
So, and it's as sad as it is, I think working with older children, at that point I'm working on cure. With these younger ones, I'm preventing disease. And so this Garden of Eden and all that we do here, I think it's about as good as it gets. We've produced a manual. I work here at the North Bay Children's Center. All of our written material, nbcc.net /garden. This will be posted on the website. We've got 600 pages of garden-based information and lessons for early childhood educators. Now, this is what education is, paper in a lot of ways, but as you and I both know, John, the best education a child can get when they're eating is eating it fresh right off the vine.
Experience and letting them see it. I mean, we all learn by doing, whether it's kids or by adults. We learn by modeling others. So that's why I have my show. That's why David's here teaching kids, because we know that we see things and we'll want to do it. So hopefully all you guys out there, you know, we're not kids, we're adults, but you know, I encourage everybody to have the mind of a child and be open to growing different kinds of things and trying things in your garden. I mean, it got me lit up when David was just talking just now about kids, just imagine kids picking, eating something and loving it so much. I mean, we could do that as adults too.
The beauty of our work, and I didn't believe it would happen, but I believe our children are now teaching their parents how to eat. Is that if you're a grandparent, if you're an uncle, you're a mother, you're a father, you're a sister, stop buying your small children plastic garbage. Stop buying them all those games. Get them out of the videos. Unplug the TV. Throw it out. Don't buy them soda juice. But go out and buy them a garden. And you will end up giving them life for the rest of their life. Every child needs a garden, John. Let's go out and do it.
Every family needs a garden. Every home needs a garden. Every person needs a garden. If you don't have space to garden, find a local community garden. Grow in containers in your home. You could do that. There's many ways to garden besides grow sprouts in your kitchen. Just had an episode on that. Plant a garden for your kids, for your grandkids, and most importantly, for yourself. So this is John Kohler with growingyourgreens.com. Keep on growing.